Hello, Varsity Sports Show listeners. Welcome to a new kind of feature. One that will enlighten, one that will educate, and one that will entertain. Where listeners just like you can interact with the star, Mr. Lucas Ramirez, in the feature Ask Lucas. Need sports tips? Ask Lucas. If you need dating advice and why people won't swipe right? Ask Lucas. Need winning lottery numbers? Ask Lucas. Whatever you might need, just ask Lucas. The views expressed by the host are one for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect the show, its host, or any of the program affiliation. And now, Ask Lucas.
All right, guys, welcome to halftime here on the featured game of the week, whatever game you happen to be watching, and hope it's a great one. We've got a special halftime today. We're going to introduce a brand new segment to the Varsity Sports Show, and we wanted to preview it here first to see if maybe it was successful, funny, or if it kind of falls flat on its face. We'll kind of see how it goes. But as always, we've got an old friend of the program who's been a partner of ours that kind of kickstarted a lot of what we're doing now. And he is the head boys basketball coach at Saguaro High School. His name is Lucas Ramirez. Coach Ramirez, how are you, sir?
Hey, Vince, how you doing? Happy to be with you guys.
Great. It's going to be a fun halftime. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a couple things. First of all, we'll get into the a little bit of your background, but then we'll talk a little and we'll pivot and talk a little bit about this segment, what it is, why we're doing it, and what the purpose of this thing is. First of all, you have been teaching at Saguaro. Is this your third year now?
Yes. This is year 3, teaching social studies, and then being the head basketball coach, head boys basketball coach at Saguaro.
Okay. Your background is pretty extensive. I mean, you obviously played a few years back, and you coached for a long time, and you started at a young age. Give us a little bit of your timeline, your history. So you grew up, you moved around a little bit, but you graduated, I think, from Horizon, right?
Yeah. So, born in California, moved around, like you said, lived in Texas, Tennessee when I was younger, but moved to Scottsdale when I was in middle school. So Arizona's been home. The Valley's home. Went to high school at Horizon. Tried to play a little basketball, and then knew that I wanted to keep it in my life. But playing was not going to be the the end result for me. So I started coaching when I was 18, right out of high school, and I got my start at North Canyon High School. I started working with my old club coach, and he's still the varsity coach at North Canyon to this day. So that's how I got my start there, was coaching the freshman team when I was 18, 19 years old, was helping out with his AAU program that I was a part of. And, we had teams from kindergarten all the way to unsigned seniors in high school, boys and girls. So,
Wow.
it was a lot of basketball, and it was, I always tell people, just kind of got thrown into the fire and learned what worked and what didn't work. And been fortunate along the way to work with a lot of great people, and went from there to Phoenix College for 2 years. I worked for a great guy, Matt Gordon.
Yep.
And then spent 3 years as an assistant for Hall of Famer Jerry Connor at Horizon while I was teaching there as well for about 4 years.
Well, you were also a football coach.
Yes. So when I was at Horizon, I wouldn't call it coaching, but when I was at Horizon, I was lucky to work with a lot of great people, and I helped out with a lot of things. I helped out with student government. I was on the football staff for 3 years, was on the baseball staff for 1 year, track and field for 4.
Wow.
So it was fun to get involved, but it was easy to get involved because it was home, where I went to school, and had a lot of great relationships with those coaches.
Yeah.
So definitely had a lot of fun. Football was definitely fun, and it was fun, but I also learned a lot too. The guy I worked for became one of my good friends, Ty Wisdom. He did a heck of a job there. He's back home in Nebraska now, doing a really nice job. And I learned a lot about organization and structure, and just how to build a program from the ground up.
You and I mean, we literally started at the same time at Saguaro. You were right before me, and I got in contact, sent you an email about maybe doing some coverage of your program. You wrote back, you were interested, and this was before you even coached a game as your first varsity game as a head coach. And so we've kind of gone into this thing together, and I like to think that your success is kind of tied to me. And I'm the reason that you won the league that first year. I don't know what happened last year. I think I took a break. I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't in the gym as much, man. Let's not talk about last year. No, I mean, it's crazy to think back, Vince, like just to think back to that period of time. I mean, getting hired March 6th, I think I was offered the job. Super excited, full of energy, didn't know what to expect next. And literally the world shuts down a week later. And just that year in itself felt like, 10 years almost, just with so much delays and cancellations and this and that.
Yeah.
And, I joked with our athletic director, Matt Harris, in the middle of year one, maybe even before the season started, just dealing with COVID and everything. I told him kind of half jokingly, half not. I said, coaches typically get, about 4 years to see what they can do in a program. Well, I think with COVID, I think I earned myself a 5th year.
Yeah.
Okay, we win the region. I definitely have 6 years minimum now. But yeah, no, I mean, super fun to take you guys along the ride with us. It's something that we can forever, our players, our staff, our community, myself, we can look back and go on the internet, go on YouTube and walk through that journey together and the highs and the lows. And it's super cool. And, I think it's something that is special because of the year we were in. You guys were able to provide a service and an escape for families that weren't allowed in the gym. We were allowing 2 people in our gym per kid. So a lot of extended family, friends, supporters, were able to go along for that ride. And people who were hesitant to maybe go out in public still, we're still able to be a part of that. So definitely was fun.
We're introducing something new this year, by the way, and you and I have talked about it, and we kind of let the cat out of the bag with your AD. I don't know if we should have told him. We should have waited till after the first game and until he started getting calls and emails from parents complaining. But we're going to introduce, because I got all of these, we use ref mics in our games, right? In our football games. I got all these mics I'm not doing anything with in the winter. So we're going to mic you up. We're going to introduce the Coach Ramirez mic during games. So what can we expect?
A lot of passion, a lot of energy, I'm just looking for opportunities, but yeah, no, I mean, all kidding aside, it'll be something for whoever's listening. They'll be entertained for sure. I guess it'll keep me in check. I'll probably be a tad bit nicer to the officials, but yeah, no, I mean, it's something new. I mean, I think that's what's really cool. Like, I'm not afraid to try new things with our program. I think it's great. I mean, for example, like working with you guys.
Did it with us. Sure.
It wasn't, at the time, it wasn't as commonplace, I'd like to think.
Yeah.
But with people like yourself, your team, you guys were already being innovative before COVID. But now, I mean, I think you look around, how many games do you guys do a week between, high school, junior college, Thursday night games? I mean, you guys could have stuff going every night. So, I mean, to be able to test this out with you guys, it's super fun, super exciting.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the meat and potatoes of this segment. It's called Ask Lucas. Now, we decided to do this because you're not afraid to answer questions. You offer advice to anybody and everybody, whether it's solicited or not. And you kind of have your hands in a lot of things. You're a student government advisor. You're a connoisseur of 70s music. You're a fashionista. You drive a real nice car on a teacher salary, no less. All right, here we go. First question. This one comes from Steve Holler. I don't know who Steve Holler is, but Steve Holler off of Twitter. What are your philosophies in regards to development of the feeder kids to Saguaro? And is there anything that he can, or he's speaking third person, is there anything that he can or does do for them? And what emphasis does he have for those younger kids on becoming players that help the SaberCats in the future?
Yeah, no, that's a really, really good question. When I first got the job at Saguaro, someone in the media, not yourself, but someone asked me, "Who are you going to hire to get kids?" And I kind of laughed and said, "No, like my main goal is to keep kids who are in our neighborhood." I mean, I think there's a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
We are an open enrollment state. We live in a world of choice, an agency. But to me, we want to keep the kids in the neighborhood. We have a great middle school, feeder middle school, Mojave Middle School, just right down the road from us. So we like to keep our eyes on that program throughout the season to see what kids are coming up. We have summer camps for elementary, middle school age kids. We want to create down the road. I think we want to have more clinics and camps and stuff. The last couple of years have been weird, a little bit. I think this is our first year where we won't be impacted by COVID, fingers crossed. So the rules will be a little different. But I mean, that's all part of the process and the plan. It's not going to happen overnight. But I guess to answer the question in short, we want to find different creative ways to engage our community, whether it's camps, clinics, inviting them out to games, having middle school nights, having elementary nights. We've connected in the past. We've gone to elementary schools with our players, and those kids have read to those kids. So any different way that we can connect and engage with our community, and in turn, I think build relationships with the young kids to get them excited about playing at Saguaro, we'll do.
Yeah. Follow-up question from the gentleman known as Steve Holler. He said, "How do you get your hair to look so fantastic? Special shampoo, stylist, conditioner?"
Man, well, first off, my hair is not as long,
Yeah.
As when most people probably met me through your broadcast, but
Yeah.
Partly because I'm starting to lose it a little bit. I think that's what happens when you become a head coach. You slowly start to lose it, and it gets a little grayer. So it's definitely a little shorter and a little grayer from when we first met. You know what, man? You just gotta wash it a couple times a week. Nothing special, just all natural right here. You look good, Vince. You feel good. You live good. You play good. Yeah. Whatever the phrase is, but no, that's good stuff. Hopefully, maybe I can try and grow the hair back a little bit, but I'm kind of digging the short look here, though, too.
That was your trademark a couple of years ago. So anyway, okay, well that's all for today. We're gonna come back and anybody and everybody, by all means, throw your questions at Coach Ramirez. DM me on Twitter at Varsity Show with your questions. DM us, and we will feature them on the and a couple rules, guys. Keep them kind of clean, but we'll feature them on our radio broadcast of the Varsity Sports Show on Saturday morning. So looking forward to circling back. Coach Lucas Ramirez from Saguaro High School boys basketball with Ask Lucas. Coach, thanks so much, and have a great week.
Thanks. Go Cats.